Good day to all. Welcome to Extreme Recap. The movie begins on one of Israel's most beautiful beaches, where Zohan, a remarkable Israeli counterterrorist, is having a good time. He can be seen wandering the beach, conquering the challenges set for him by the visitors and dazzling the girls there. However, Zohan's tranquil vacation comes to an abrupt end when he is unexpectedly summoned by senior Israeli Defense Forces personnel. They tell him about a new mission with Phantom, the leader of a terrorist group in Palestine, despite having captured Phantom 3 months earlier. Concerned about the possibility of civilian casualties, Zohan learns that he was traded in exchange for the release of Israeli spy operatives. Zohan reluctantly agrees to join the mission and dances on the outside of the military helicopter as he leaves the beach. Zohan confides in his parents during dinner later that evening, after he has finished getting ready for the given mission. He says that he is sick of fighting and violence. He also discusses his aspiration to become a hairstylist, for which he would like to leave the army and move to the United States. However, he is heartbroken when his parents laugh and express disapproval of his dreams. Zohan sets out on the mission the following day, breaking into Phantom's hideout and quickly disposing of the armed guards. He defeats them all and quickly reaches Phantom, who is upside down on the ceiling and looks like a bat. Unfortunately, as Zohan defies Ghost, the last option runs on the roof and escapes through a window. As Phantom tries to get away on a jet ski, he is pursued at high speed. Fearless, he dives into the water and relentlessly pursues him. He appears to have superpowers like incredible agility and strength. Zohan eventually catches up to them and disables the jet ski. Phantom uses a paddle from a passing kayak to attack Zohan after diving into the water. As they compete to demonstrate their toughness, a battle breaks out. At first, they bite each other like piranha fish. But later on, their fight turns into a dangerous game of ping-pong with a hand grenade, which eventually bursts. Shockingly, Ghost arises out of the water first, and Zohan is no place to be seen. He disappears in the water, abandoning just his bathing suit. Phantom claims the trunks as a sign of his victory and believes Zohan is dead. However, Zohan has in fact imitated his, which he is unaware of. Zohan escapes to New York by sneaking himself into a pet crate with 2 friendly dogs named Scrappy and Coco after retrieving a bag that had been hidden underwater while traveling. Having a conversation with the dogs, Zohan stating that he is of the opinion that the conflicts in his homeland are never ending. After that, he trims himself and the dogs with the scissors. He uses his hairstyling skills to expertly disguise himself upon landing and blends into the bustling airport crowd. After that, Zohan takes a taxi to New York City's well-known Paul Mitchell's hair salon. He is awestruck by the impressive atmosphere of the salon when he arrives. He talks to the receptionist about himself and says that he wants to talk to the owner about a job opportunity. He learns, regrettably, that Paul is not available. He is also mocked by the staff at the salon for his out-of-date hairstyle. Are you feeling let down? As a result, Han leaves the salon and orders a taxi to take him around the city. While on the tour, Zohan encounters Michael, a cyclist, in a car accident. Zohan steps in and confronts one of the irate drivers involved in the incident. He uses his martial arts skills to subdue the driver and even uses one punch to fix the other driver's car. Michael, impressed, tries to inquire about Hans's background, but our hero fabricates a lie and says he wants to be a hairstylist. Zohan joins Michael and his mother, Gail, later that evening. He introduces himself as an Australian man here in an effort to win Gail over and earn her respect. When Michael enters his mother's bedroom in the following scene while he is looking for Zohan around the house, he is shocked to see his new friend getting intimate with his mother. Michael asks Zohan to stop and make amends out of embarrassment, and our hero takes him to a club to have fun. Zohan approaches the DJ booth to set the mood with some music while enjoying himself as a DJ at the club, where he gives Michael advice on how to interact with women. Uri, a devoted fan who recognizes Zohan as an army official, meets Zohan unexpectedly. However, Zohan claims to be someone else and denies knowing who he is. But when Uri doesn't believe him, he has no choice but to explain why he left his homeland, learning about his condition, at which point he gives Zohan his phone number and invites him to visit him. Casey continues on to Uri's electronics store in case he encounters any issues the following day. He approaches Uri for employment, but he declines, suggesting that he pursue his aspirations of becoming a hairstylist instead. After that, worry, directing Zohan to a nearby salon that might employ him, pointing out that it is owned by Palestinians. Zohan initially declines the suggestion due to his personal conflicts with Palestinians. However, when Yuri shows him Phantom's recent commercial success in their home country later, he becomes envious and agrees. Zohan goes to meet Dahlia, the pretty salon owner across the street, where he introduces himself and asks her for a job. He is furious that his enemy can pursue his dream while he cannot. Dahlia initially inquires about his field experience. Also, when Zohan makes reference to that he has none, she shows no interest in him. Nevertheless, when our hero persists in pleading, she eventually gives him permission to practice styling after work by letting him sweep the salon floor a few times a week for free. Zohan then moves into Michael's building and begins styling Gail's hair. He takes his job as a sweeper at Dahlia's salon very seriously in his spare time, and he doesn't even let any hair fall on the floor. He sometimes gets in the way of other stylists, like Claude, who are trying to disturb them. To accelerate. Therefore, Hans, move forward and avoid hindering others. Claude gives him additional examples after the shop closes. Since he doesn't bring in cash from it, Johan requires on a section investment driving position to earn enough to pay the rent, despite the fact that he has poor driving skills. Zohan tries to approach a few customers in the salon in the following scene. However, she pulls him aside and asks him to stay away from the customers in his own way, which Dahlia dislikes. Johan offers to take her place when one of Dahlia's stylists quits without informing Johan. Delia puts off her decision for a while, but as the customers waited for their turn, she eventually agreed. Additionally, our hero is granted the opportunity to realize his ambition. Johan then proceeds with the hairstyling procedure and approaches the elderly female client. Despite the fact that Johan's haircuts may not be current, the manner in which he treats the middle-aged women who visit the salon is appreciated. He indulges them with a head massage and dances, following the haircut. For additional pampering, he even takes them to a private room. Word spreads, and soon ladies from everywhere the town rushed to Dahlia's salon to finish their hair by Johan. Dahlia is able to cope with the rising rent thanks to the rapid expansion of the business. Paul Mitchell, a great stylist, is intrigued by Zohan's success. Who wants to hire him? Johan, on the other hand, stays faithful to Dahlia and Claude and declines his job offer as a token of appreciation for his lessons. Additionally, Johan offers Claude advice on how to treat women. Salem's taxi brings two new customers to the salon one day. Johan is someone Salem recognizes from a previous incident in Palestine when he stops his car in front of the salon. Salem was enraged when our hero punched him and stole his goat, so he sought revenge and enlisted the help of his homely and Nazi friends to come up with a plan to capture Johan and exact revenge. Johan and Dahlia, on the other hand, go on a picnic together without considering going on a date. During their interaction, Nassim tries to get closer to Dahlia, but she tells him to stay away from her. When they return to the salon, Nassim approaches Johan pretending to be a client and starts a conversation about goats. They bond over their experiences as immigrants and dislike senseless hatred and ongoing conflicts in their country. He wants to learn more about Salem. Surprisingly, however, after some conversation, his physical appearance charms Nasi and later impresses him. When he gets back, he tells Salem about Zohan and admits that he liked him and doesn't think he's a good special agent. Salem, on the other hand, continues to insist that he is aware of Johan's true identity and wants to expose him. Later, Salem, Nashi and Homie devise a strategy to kidnap Johan and go shopping for weapons and explosives. They go to a local pharmacy to get materials for their weapons, but the old pharmacist makes a mistake and gives them the wrong things. The day after that, even when the landlord refuses to provide Dahlia with water supplies, Dahlia remains determined to work despite the ongoing rent issue. She did some research and found that Mr. Waldridge, the new building owner, wants to destroy the neighborhood and move her salon to his upcoming mall. Talia's outspoken personality makes Zohan realize his true feelings for her. As the day's closing of the salon, Salem uses his fictitious weapon to wreak havoc on them, but it turns out to be pointless and sticks to the salon's exterior door. Salem won't listen when Nazi tries to explain to him why the weapon didn't work properly. Yuri almost reveals Zohan's true identity when he suggests, while eating dinner at Michael's house, that someone might be pursuing vengeance against Zohan. When Michael hears this, he offers to join the community night watch to look for clues and wears clothing that suggests that. Take Michael's shift, hun. While on patrol at night, Zohan spots some troublemakers spray painting the salon, and he demands that they stop. However, the criminals instead made threats to Johan and Kevin to leave. Zohan is so enraged by this that he beats the criminals who are leaving. The following day, Kevin was taken aback by World Ridge's outrage at the hired Doug's failure to destroy the community and fight Zohan. He wants the construction of his mall to move faster, but his employees said it was hard for the shop owners to agree. If they are unable to complete the task within the allotted time, Waldridge becomes enraged and threatens to fire them. Later, he gets the help of some hoodlums to help him get rid of the shop owners from the neighborhood. These people accept the offer and express their dissatisfaction with particular laws in the United States. However, they agree to do whatever it takes to complete the task, after realizing there was no way to capture Zohan. Salem and his friends look for Phantom's restaurant in an effort to locate him. Salem calls Phantom to let him know that Zohan is still alive. In addition, he negotiates a reward for keeping the information confidential and provides photographic evidence. Johan receives tickets to a program from Waldridge in the future, which he gives to some of his friends. However, Phantom has discovered him and will be attending the match to reveal his identity, so Uri surprises our hero by pulling him aside. Moving on, Zohan reveals his true identity to Michael and Gail while Phantom gets ready for the upcoming confrontation. He has Gail's back and suggests that he tell Dahlia the truth. Johan tells Dahlia about his feelings that night, but she turns him down. She gives him a new hairstyle book as a farewell present after learning that he is a counter-terrorist and asking him to leave before she does. Johan forms a group of his friends to confront the Phantom elsewhere in the city. At the event, Waldridge gives an introduction and mentions a well-known person. Phantom approaches Maria Carey to introduce himself as she performs the national anthem at the beginning of the program. Zohan seizes the opportunity, appears in front of Phantom, and the two get into a fight. During the scuffle, Michael calls Johan to tell him that Waldridge and his gang are breaking into the salon. Johan, this worries you. He therefore gives up the argument and rushes to save the salon. Zohan arrives to find that all of the Israeli and Palestinian shops have been vandalized and set on fire. Additionally, Phantom learns about it and intervenes to save the shops. While Zohan assists him by spraying a paste from a nearby restaurant to put out the fire. Phantom approaches our hero and begins hitting him after putting out the fire. However, Johan does not respond, leaving Science baffled by his behavior change. Phantom inquires as to why he is not engaging in combat. Dahlia then appears and explains that Zohan has permanently changed. She also reveals that Phantom is actually her brother, which is why she turned down Johan's earlier proposal. Phantom is taken aback when Dahlia tells him how much she loves Johan and that there is no reason to hate her. They eventually come to an agreement, and Johan even offers Salem an apology for taking his goat away from him. Johan notices the criminals who caused the damage far from them and realizes that Waldridge is to blame for everything. Then, he and Phantom work together to stop the criminals. On the way there, Phantom reveals that he has always wanted to move to America and work as a shoe salesman. They discover shared goals while Johan talks about starting a salon, and they use their distinctive fighting styles to defeat the thugs. After some time, there, Waldridge arrives. However, he is swiftly detained before he can act. In the final scene, we see the Israelis and Palestinians relocating their shops to a brand new mall. Salem gives kids goat rides in the mall, while Phantom has opened his shoe shop. In a similar vein, Dahlia and Zohan have tied the knot and are currently employed in their brand new salon. As a token of their support for his new work, Johan's parents allow him to style their hair when they visit his salon at the movie's conclusion. Also marriage. Turn on notifications, please subscribe for more videos like this, and like the channel to support it. Thank you very much for watching.